Hello everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to Riders United YouTube channel. This is the channel where I release weekly videos related to motorcycles, and if you didn't subscribe yet, please hit the icon on the right corner of your screen, and if you hit the bell icon you will always get notification when I post the new video. In today's episode I would like to talk to you about the troubleshooting the engine, especially in the cases when we cannot really start the bike. So there is few reasons for that to happen, and I would like to just give you a quick overview what to check for in case you experience something like that. So please stick around and I will show you what I got. Here we go. So in today's episode I would like to talk to you about the situation and troubleshooting the situation when you try to start your bike and your starter is not engaging at all, or if it's engaging, is not engaging properly, that will prevent you from starting the bike. So there might be multiple reasons why you might not be able to start your bike. And some of those reasons are really obvious and some of those are not really that obvious. And one of those most obvious one is that your run switch is actually in turn off position. So in these cases, yes, you won't be able to actually start the bike because there will be no flow of electrical power to the components allowing you to start the bike. So that's the first thing to definitely check. So the second thing to check will be actually the battery. And in many cases, you will have the battery that is drained, and it will actually not allow you to start the bike, and you might hear this chatter sometimes when you hit the starter is just clicking and doesn't really engage. So it can be actually two different things. You might have the battery that is completely drained or almost close to being completely drained, or in some cases you might have the connection to the battery that are corroded, and in those cases there is not enough of the flow of electricity between the battery and electrical components on the motorcycle, which will create this situation which will prevent you from starting the bike. So the third thing to check will be the circuit for your starter. If this component is damaged or faulty, it will actually not even turn the starter, which obviously won't allow you to start the bike. So this one will be rather obvious. After you hit the start button on your handlebar, you won't even hear a starter to try to engage or popping out into the clutch basket. So it will be completely silent. So that might be a good indicator that maybe there is an issue with the circuit for your starter. The fourth thing to check will be the shaft pinion gear, and this is a part of the starter that is actually throwing the shaft pinion gear into the clutch basket and allow the engine to turn. And in cases that this is not working properly, you will actually notice that the bike tries to start, but it doesn't really happen. So the clutch basket is not properly engaged with the pinion gear, and it will prevent it from turning on the engine. Another reason that will prevent you from starting your motorcycle is the trigger of the angle sensor. And in many bikes, especially these newer bikes, there is the sensor that prevents bike from being restarted after the bike was lying on the ground. So there is specific angle after which this sensor will activate, and in order to deactivate it, you will have to turn on the switch on the handlebar to off position and on position, and it will re-trigger the sensor, and the bike will understand that the bike is standing upright again, and this will allow you to start the engine after that. The sixth reason that might prevent you from starting your bike might be the fact that your security system is activated. So in those cases, obviously bike try to make sure that nobody will steal it, and this is the moment that even if you turn on the run on your handlebar switch, the bike will not engage. So obviously you will have to have the key next to you and make sure that you deactivate the security system, and after that it should allow you to start the bike normally. The seventh thing that might prevent you from starting your bike might be the fact that your bike might be in the gear. And engineers were really smart, and they tried to make sure that the bike won't jump from under your butt in case you are hitting the starter and transmission is engaged. So for those situations, you will have to simply make sure that your transmission is in neutral, or you can pull the clutch, and there is the switch also under the lever that will allow the engine to start turning over and starting the engine. So yeah, this one actually happened to me quite a few times, especially after I upgrade my clutch lever and it was not properly engaging with the switch. So yeah, this was actually a reason for a little bit of the headache, but I figured this one out rather quickly, and after that I was able to fix this problem. Sometimes you might actually have your kickstand down, and that will prevent engine from the startup. And this is unfortunately not the case for US models, but for many international models, engineers designed this security system that will not allow the engine to turn over in cases when the kickstand is down. And if this is the model that you got, especially outside of the United States, that I will say, please check that out, because that might be as simple as that. And the last reason that you might not be able to start the bike is really less obvious and rather not happening for many of us, and that will be the fact that the main fuse for your bike is not in place. And this will be like probably the last thing that I will try to consider when I cannot start my bike, but actually might happen. So in cases when you cannot really start your bike, this will be one of the things to check before you start really digging a little bit deeper into different components of your bike. And I will have to say, this is definitely a good idea to make sure to check that out. So this short episode was talking about the situations when your starter is not engaging at all, or maybe is engaging incorrectly. And in the future episodes, I will be more than happy to share more troubleshooting tips that might help you out to fix your bike in cases that you are experiencing the situation when something is wrong and the bike don't start, or maybe start and is idling rough. So if you are interested, please subscribe to my channel. I will be more than happy to share those details. I will be releasing those videos on the weekly basis. And as always, I would like to say thank you for your time. You can find me on the different social platforms. I have the Facebook group called the Riders United Motorcycle Group. I also have an account on the Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. So those are the places where you can engage with me directly. You can ask me any kind of questions that you have related to those videos, and I will be always happy to engage and provide the comments and reply to your questions. So please stick around, and I will have more good tips following up next week. So thank you so much, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.